comments or whatever anybody want to make before we go into our session? Yes. Oh, Judy.
So I actually think you're right.
Speak up, sorry, because I'm hard of hearing and unless we don't have a mic that.
No.
I'm not much taller when I stand up, but I'll try. So I think you're right that we need words instead of numbers for normal people, but I like the driver's terminology, the safe driving terminology, but I think self-driving is misleading. I also think autopilot is misleading, and I think that's one of the reasons why there are problems with it, because normal people think you really mean autopilot, but you actually need a driver backup. So maybe supervised self-driving, or maybe self-driving with what driver assist, I know, something where it doesn't imply that the driver.
How about attended? I mean, Russ has suggested with respect to attended. I don't know. And hey, I'm not a linguist. I think I flunked English, every time I took it. So it's not my forte, and I probably should be the one that's having a hemorrhage over this. But I agree. There's that doesn't do it. I think driverless does it. Okay, I think, or maybe we have to go to what they use in unattended. I don't know. But, yes.
There's two classes of distinctions: the technology distinction of how much oversight you need to move the vehicle. But I think the second distinction, owned, not owned, or publicly available vehicle or private vehicle, what we call the weakness or mobility machines. Well, that's a far more important distinction from a social perspective. How we deploy the vehicle. Obviously, there's a correlation because you're not going to deploy mobility machines that require a driver, but they still may often require oversight of some kind, at least helping people on the vehicle. I really think the key issue is the ownership one, which is your second one.
Yeah, and that's why I put in the ownership business, there are two of them. There's the problem. I don't think if there's any regulation that goes out over this, the first regulation that's going to go on is that private individuals can't own these. Okay, the reason why a private individual can't own it is because somebody has to be responsible. So you have to either sign up for a responsible entity to do it, a super Uber or a super, super AAA, that when I send this thing down to pick up my groceries at Chopper, and bring it back to my house in case something happens, that there's somebody, some entity that's going to be able to go there and deal with it, because there's not going to be anybody there. And so I think that probably the only people that can probably do this and do this at scale and do this effectively and have the resources to put it is a fleet, so that you can have a few people around to take care of these things, because you have 1,000 vehicles or 10,000 vehicles out there and you can go do it. But for us to have these things as our own, plus why in the hell were we going to ever want to own one of these things if we can't drive it? Except for the Donald, who has their own elevator, who owns their own elevator. No. The building has it as a Princeton community should probably have a fleet of these vehicles to provide mobility for its citizens. Why is the community asking me to provide mobility for myself? A building doesn't do that. Why? Because the owner knows that at the 14th floor, he or she could not get a penny's worth of rent unless they provided mobility. The merchants here in Princeton should realize that Hamilton Jewelers would love to come to my house, take me to Hamilton Jewelers and walk in there and buy stuff for my wife. Okay? They should be providing mobility, and in fact, some do. They provide free parking at times, or they give you a parking shoe, or some people even give you a chit, or there are beginnings, but it should be part of the fabric almost. And if you had a mobility machine in which to do it, then you could probably organize your community to have that. As opposed to the way we've evolved is we say, hey, we'd like to have smart cities that has somebody at the top controlling everything, yet everybody's out there behind their own vehicle, making their own decisions, doing that. I mean,
Yeah, but Elaine,
yeah. All right, go get.
the thing is, you're raising the question of private AV.
Speak up so everybody can
You're
hear.
saying private AV should not be allowed, basically, right?
Driverless ones that operate like elevators probably will.
But the fact is, without that volume, the price of this thing is going to be very high.
No, I mean, look, I can put them out there as a service. Hey, with 25 million of them in the U.S., we provide mobility to everybody, you know, all the mobility. That's all you need is 25 million of them out there. Okay? I mean, you know, you run through the simulations you have, I mean, it's just a number that you get, you know, running the
But
simulations.
I think that's an urban-centric view.
No, suburban, don't suburban-centric. If we're talking about urban, if we're talking about Manhattans, they have a subway. They're a data point. The rest of the world is down here. Okay? Even China has more than 700 million people living in communities, in villages, in places that look like Princeton, maybe that, you know, not whatever, but, you know, of this kind of density. All right, so, you know, the tower stuff. Anyway. Steve.
Yeah, so how do you bring the investor perspective to this, right? I mean, just last week or 2 weeks ago, you know, somebody put 1.15 billion into cruise. So is that the private model or the shared model? Somebody has a business case for that.
I don't know what SoftBank. It would, you know, it would have been nice to have somebody from SoftBank here to tell us what SoftBank is thinking, because of course, you know, they're a player. I mean, they have what, 50 billion invested in this? I don't know, count it up, but I mean, they're in everybody except for Tesla and Waymo. Okay, and they're basically, I say, you know, three big guys, people out there in this thing. It's those three, and what are they thinking? And I would think SoftBank is thinking of basically a fleet model. Okay, I don't think I can't imagine anybody thinking about a personal model in drive. You don't have to have all the baggage associated with driverless to sell to an individual, because most of us, and you know, I realize, you know, not all of us, but most of us can drive, okay, and we can drive 12% of the time that these things, but to get to that last 12%, to get to be able to go from O to D, to be able to take you from the watering hole to your bedroom. Okay, so that, you know, you can have 2 more drinks. You know, that last percentage is big. It's expensive. And in fact, once you do it, I don't think individuals are the ones that are going to want to buy it. You'll have a choice of buying that guy or the one or the Tesla that you bought. You'll buy the Tesla.
You know, until these vehicles can go everywhere, which is projected to be 40 or 50 years out, until they go everywhere, we won't buy them as a personal vehicle. Just because of something called access anxiety. I can't get everywhere, I can't get up in my car or whatever. So there is no market for I'm going to use the word unapplied only because it means completely right. There's no market for that until we're perfect. In the meantime, the fleet model makes a lot more sense because we can geofence huge amounts of areas.
But why do you think it'll take 40 to 50 years for a driverless car?
It won't take.
That's our next one.
Who's saying that?
We have driverless cars today, but it's going to take a very long time for any car that does not have someone driving it.
But why go everywhere? But why then 40 to 50 years? Where do you come up with
It could be 10 years. It could
Okay,
be 5
fine.
years. It could be something.
It's not experts like Schrader and John Trapp.
I can't drive my car everywhere, even though the the person who sold it to me put it in my brain that I could, and I saw the commercial that I could drive it down a riverbed or up the Great Wall or all that stuff. I can't do that. So the everywhere is just, no, nothing goes everywhere. And we should even have it in our terminology. We don't go everywhere. We go to a bunch of places. And those bunch of places end up being on a very compact set of the roads that we use. And instead of having 7 million miles of roads that are out there, you know, it's probably 500,000 miles of road that actually have any volume that anybody cares about. And if you then do it on that, or even 250,000 of those streets, you probably serve 80% of the trip ends, and maybe, you know, some of the other ones you get Uber to take you, or you rent a car, or you do something, I don't know.
Now, do you want to buy a car that would take you 80% of the places that you could otherwise go if you could drive?
I'm thinking of buying a Tesla, and damn it, I know it can't take me everywhere. And as Russ told me last night, I should, because I have other cars in case the damn thing can't take me. I can, you know, I have a fallback. So, you know, anyway, I don't know. I'm getting juices going. We do want to go to insurance, so yes. One more comment. Sorry, but
yeah, I just say I think I don't know about the fleet owned, although it might happen, but I see 3 potential barriers that I don't think we've really discussed. 3 potential challenges, let's say. The one would be sort of not just the rural, but the ex-urban, where I don't know if you have enough vehicles. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, I'm not sure. The other is the rush hour traffic. I mean, you know, we've tried to do carpooling for years, and we can't get damn people to share a car, even if we give them a break on the price or a special rate. I don't know, it might happen, I'm just saying. And the third one would be, what do you do about your so-called wealthy folks who are just doing them as toys? Now, we can say they're annoying whatever, but I would point to the aviation market, where, you know, we have people that still own their own planes that live in like Metro New York and Metro Atlanta, and there's great air service. I mean, we kind of, I don't know what we call it, a shared model, it's a corporate model. So I don't know, I'm not saying it won't happen, I'm just saying those are 3 challenges that they
Okay, if I could just comment. You
Oh,
don't mind if I comment?
please.
I'll go backwards. I almost had FlexJet as a sponsor here, okay? I came this close. And it would have been really nice to have FlexJet as a sponsor because we could have dealt with it. And of course, you know, the Donalds of this world will have them, okay? Sure, whatever, okay? But that's not, I don't know that that's where all the investment is sort of going. The second one, damn it, I forgot. What was the second one?
The second one was the 5 p.m. for those that people won't share cars now.
As I said, ride sharing is the answer. Okay? If we don't do ride sharing, we got a problem. Whether it's 55 Chevys or these.
But you think people will actually do it? I mean, you haven't been successful.
If I listened to Catherine yesterday, it makes me feel that I think they can do it. I think more of the reason that we're not doing ride sharing is the internet has failed us in that. It created an Amazon that allowed us to find a needle in a haystack, or a Google search that allowed us to find a needle in a haystack. This has not allowed me and my neighbors to share information that would somehow make us feel comfortable or even know that we could share. So when we do our simulations of these billion-plus trips that take place on, we think, on a single day in the United States, we see that because of where people live and the densities that they live, because of where they go, like schools that collect them, like shopping that collects them, like here that collects them, like a lot of other places that collect them, that tend to start at about the same time, there are opportunities for sharing, okay? We just don't know it, okay? And we end up getting on our own cars if we go down the roads together to take you up 2 spots. Now, how we get this whole darn thing to give us that information and make us feel comfortable about it is a challenge. That's a research, that's what we all need to work on, I share, we're all correlated here. We aren't just random distributions of individuals. We're highly correlated. We have interest in this crap. Okay? I mean, I go to Newark Airport, I want to fly on a plane. I'm correlated with everybody. I'm on a plane that lands at Newark. And United knows probably where each of us is going. Do they go to Uber or Lyft and say, hey, there are 2 people on this plane, or 2 planes coming in at the same time. They're going to Princeton. They can share a ride. They're going to Princeton. They've got to have something in common. They're not just completely, off the wall. And they might actually enjoy it. There is, as far as I know, no information system that even begins to do that kind of thing. And once you have that information, then maybe you can do that. Or, as we do in elevators, what do? We walk up. Try to close that door. But then Michael comes in. It's in with me. I don't know him, but whatever. I tried to close the door on him. But we ride together. Think about it. The last 100 times you rode elevators, how many people were in the elevator with you? Probably, I'd say, 50% of the time. That's what this is going to be. 25% of the time. 12.5% of the time. 6.25%, I don't know, pick your distribution, whatever. We could collect data on it, but that's what happens. And in fact, in the peak of the morning, holy hell, if you had to have elevators for everybody to ride along, there wouldn't be any space, for offices, right? So the system, we just haven't done this with this system. And there's no reason why we can't do it horizontally. I mean, I just don't, yeah. Oh, there was one more, I had an easy one for the first.
The X-urban, are we worried about that?
I am absolutely worried about the X-urban one. We've looked at simulations in New Jersey. New Jersey has distributions that look like, the famous spectrum. You throw a few vehicles out there, they may have to put in some empty miles to go get them. You can provide a mobility, you can provide a response for them. You have a fleet of, so 50,000 vehicles in New Jersey.
Miles is still matter than people own.
You're going to have empty miles, you're going to have miles with 1, you're going to have miles with 2, you're going to have miles with 3. When you take that distribution, it's going to be greater than 2. If it's greater than 2, you have energy in that, you have pollution in that, she said. I mean, that's what I think. Yes?
I think one of the difficulties is going to be that when it comes to vehicles, we have had a certain aspect of control. And when it comes to airlines and elevators, many people don't remember ever having control for themselves over those modes of transportation. And so it might take a generation for people to get used to the idea that they're going to be forced into a car with another person. And then they think of it from a safety perspective. People always think, they have assumptions about what is going to happen when they use pooling. They only want to do it with people they trust. And then it becomes a trust pooling in the first place. So I think trust really becomes the difference of whether or not the model is going to change. But we do have generational turnover. Someday a generation will be born that don't remember it being any other way.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone up and tried knocking on the pilot door and say, hey, let me in there. I mean, if you just, put the pedal to the metal, I'm going to make it on time, and they cut me away.
I've been watching movies with hitchhiking. I've never picked up a hitchhiker because I was always thought it's like one of the most dangerous things you can do. But then I see a generation of people who that was a pretty standard way of if you had to walk somewhere.
I hitchhiked. Of course I did. I didn't have money to own a car.
How many people would pick him up?
No, I mean, it isn't. No, and I drive around Princeton and I say to myself, I see somebody walking, I'd like to offer them a ride.
And then I don't do that because then they might think I'm strange and they can we have a problem, and I think Catherine said it well yesterday. She said, I think, we just have to educate us, everybody, educate the older, educate all of us to say, hey, it's not bad. And these fears that we have, we all have all these damn fears. Holy, Jesus, maybe we should think better of our neighbors and so on. Really, I've had some experiences that have been, holy, are you kidding? Why should people be nice to me that have been nice to me? And it's, and I'm sure you have also, and if we think more of that, then, oh my goodness, somebody is trying to steal my wallet or whatever. It can't happen. I really want it.
Alan, you haven't talked about how this might deal, and maybe Amazon is training us to think in a different way, but how do you deal with people coming home with 14 rolls of toilet paper from Costco, or 10 bags of mulch from Lowe's or Home Depot, which is a lot of the tricks that you can calculate.
Of course, and I have to go buy my Ford F-150, and everybody wants to be hauling stuff. Okay, I don't know. Really, we want to be, hey, look, I got a bunch of stuff delivered in my house lately. It was bad, and in fact, Amazon would love to bring 50 rolls of toilet paper in my house instead of coming 50 times and bringing one roll. Okay? So in a sense, if you look at it, I think it works for them. If I was Costco, I would really worry about cold.
They're trying to do it,
okay? Huh?
I think they're trying to do it too, but not.
Well, yeah, they can do it about that. Yes, I'll make what? Yes, Stan.
Just a different perspective.
Sure, please.
Our elevator, it wasn't the elevator that enabled better movements in high rises. High rises were built because elevators, enabled it.
Sure.
And I like to take this thought process. Think of the most attractive places that you like to attend, and I press people, put that in your mind. Are any of them cluttered with automobiles? Princeton campus, an amusement park, all of them are very attractive. When we get these tools, these automated tools that solve the horizontal plane, and then get the urban designers and the architects in here, I don't think what we'll see built over the next 20, 30 years is going to be car-centric at all. It'll be, let's create places that are attractive to people and, fundamentally they're not navigable by human-controlled personally owned vehicles. They'll be navigated with all these new tools that we bring to the place. And the other half that we don't like to talk about.
Well, wouldn't that be great? That would be fantastic. Why did we build all this crap to deal with leasing? Why do we have all these parking lots? Right? And we walked here today. Wasn't it more pleasant?
Wonderful.
Not have to deal with it. What did they do? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the other half is security. In an argument, it says, hey, once level 5 gets here, it's level 5. Any institution that can enforce drop your personal vehicles at the border, because we don't want them in here for safety and security reasons of whatever, and has the potential to do so, I think you're going to, personally driven cars are going to be left to the hinterlands, and you're going to be forced to ride whatever system is provided by that land enclave.
What does Disney World do? They make you part of the remote thing, and they have their mobility systems that bring you in there. Okay. What do really airports really want you to do? Park out there, and they're going to have their mobility systems bring you in there. I mean, that's really where it's going, and the OEMs are trying to keep this marketplace of having us go in and mortgage our lives and pay who knows what, $4.99 a month or whatever, and then buy insurance and it be our responsibility, and if anything happens, they're there, oh, it's not nice. It's you. And you go to jail if you kill somebody or whatever, and all that stuff, and they're out of there. Okay? They've been able to put this all on us. And we've said, oh, I get to drive. Whatever.
Isn't that freedom of choice?
What?
Isn't that freedom?
Speak up.
No, isn't that freedom of choice?
Absolutely.
Somebody should have a choice whether or not they want to take mass transit, or take a personal car, take a taxi, or take a bicycle. People should have personal choices as to what they should want to do.
Absolutely.
In the cities, though, I agree with that. There is definitely a congestion problem in our cities, whether you're in Manhattan, Philadelphia, I think the city.
Princeton.
Princeton.
I mean, whatever.
To get walked down, so, you know, I think the focus should be really getting this infrastructure and all this done as quickly as possible in the cities, and I think it'll make the quality of life in the cities a lot better. As you said, when you walk, when it's nice to walk, you can walk through, and, you know, that's all. It's really where the focus has to be, but it's going to be a little bit tougher when you start getting out of the city areas and you start trying to implement this among the everyday driver that likes to get up in the morning and say, you know what, I think I'll leave in 10 minutes, or I feel like leaving the house right now. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for them to walk outside and find a vehicle waiting for them at the area unless they own it.
No, but I guess I think that we can provide a good, but we're still going to have them, and as Vern said, it's going to be a long time. I've said that if the automobile started with Ben's patent, in January 31st, 1886, okay, we are not out of the 19th century yet. But Elon is not Henry Ford. Okay, Henry Ford hasn't emerged yet in this business. Okay, we might be 1898 or something. And so when we discuss all this stuff, I think we should put all part of it, or at least part of it, in that perspective, I think, and say, hey, what were people saying with respect to cars relative to horses at that time, and it was mentioned already. You know what I mean?
Thank God, somebody invented something, so I don't have to walk a horse shit.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, I don't know how many. I think if you were 1898, you might be in a conference like this, you'd say that, and you'd be called a visionary, Michael. I know. I mean, yeah. I mean, people say, why? But, you know, I can scoop this up and I can go take it across the Hudson River and sell it to the farmers in New Jersey and get a better product.